First 3 plus. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened. Just moved.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Shorty, I'm really sorry. I thought you said 7 or 10:30 your time. So I guess I'm late. Is there any chance you can go over really quickly just the levels on anything that you've covered already?
Well, I'm actually doing it right now. It's almost like you asked for it. Something happened to my queues, and it literally all the levels wiped out. So I'm redoing them right now.
So you started on Qs?
Yeah,
You haven't looked at any other charts yet?
nothing yet.
Okay,
Switched queues, came back to this, and thing was gone.
okay.
Yeah, 327. You just can't ignore this triple top here. 330s. So the worst case that you want to see, you want the bulls to hold this trend line break. So if you look at the 4 hours, right, uh, it seems like we broke this trend line, right? There's going to be a change, but eventually, nothing really goes from, let me make sure I have the errors. Nothing really goes like this, right? It's not going to work that way where it just shoots up and it's a V recovery like March 20th. So I would expect that maybe, we could push 315 and according to some here, Qs went to 313. So I would not be surprised if there's a a supply here at 315. And then if you guys did your fibs, you guys see what lines up there perfectly. Look at that.
Golden fib.
Yeah, that's your golden fib right there, like 315.28 lines up with that, I guess, VPOC. So it might be a little bloody once we get this. If we, for some reason, rip through this, then you want to play the retest as much as possible on this. And then, if we go above it, then you want to short it on every one of these levels. Uh, and then you have a couple of levels here, even from Friday. So you guys see that you had a VPOC there. This is like your Friday's POC. You're going to mark that one. So only way I would go along is a break of this and a retest. Otherwise, if we see weakness, I mean, you see this run looks pretty. I guess how do I say it without not having bias? It's pretty aggressive up, and I don't know if the volume agrees with this just yet. And I'll have to check. But this looks pretty aggressive to me so far. So I mean, it went from 282 to 310 so far. It's pretty good. I mean, what, 10%? So I would definitely watch this 315. You can watch a bounce at 306. If it breaks somehow, below this 314, let's say we get a rejection there, you could definitely short it there. As long as you catch, a lower high break or a lower low, play that way. SPY. Well, SPY. Wow. Oh my God. It has VPOCs on every single day last week. I like make this easier here.
So we're due for a red day.
We do correct. We have 5 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my rule. Usually 5 in a row. You get a nice little sell off. Try and see what I can find here. Seems like a short squeeze more so than anything else, to be honest. I'm just gonna switch to 65 quickly just to see if there's any obvious supplies. Alright, so we got one here, that'll be a 418. That'll be this one here. And then we, of course, we have this level, which I think everyone's aware of. The 30. Yeah, this 418 is going to be fairly important here. You guys see how we went below it? We dipped right below that level, then we went all the way to 430, then we dipped down. So you have a double bottom with the neckline here at 408, which could be serving as a support next time we come back down. You do have an indecision candle here, which we bounced from. So that 405 might be a nice area of demand when we come back. But this is going to be a tough level to get over here. Yeah, that's going to be a pretty tight level here, 418.84. Wow, you guys see that weekly candle? Just wanna, how do you hide the drawing? Oh, it's right here. I want to see. Okay, you guys see this candle right here?
Sure do.
Does it resemble any of it in 2008 here?
Maybe on a different time frame. Oh, are you talking about that little tiny one right there? Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
have this one here where you
Yeah.
had a pushback, you dropped, and then you pushed, and then you literally had that dump come in after. It looks like a similar candle.
Yeah, same, just different size.
Yeah, probably be the same size if I zoomed in a little bit. See it
2016
right now?
17 shows one like that.
Yeah, I see this. So we dropped from all-time highs, then we dipped, we created a hammer, we created a fake. And then once we dipped below that level, which was at this point 137.29, I mean, we started all the way down. Just something to keep an eye on, right? Yeah, because that looked like a nice fake out there.
I was looking at charts and I noticed there's a lot of bear flags on like 1 hour, 2 hours, stuff like that.
I mean, this is still very bearish territory if you ask me, but let's see. So tomorrow, watch over 418. If that breaks, then we get a run on retest 430. But I think we're going to be slowing down soon. So, and I was short below every one of these VPOCs. We're definitely short below each one of these here. These would be my levels for SPY. I'll just turn on this to make sure I'm not missing something. So 417.37 also exists, but not really heavy. It's a B-shape profile. See how the B shape in an uptrend always results in a downtrend? Because the B shapes in an uptrend are reversals. Hopefully you guys are aware of that. All right, well that's it for SPY. Are the futures down right now, or? Oh yeah, they're down. Yeah, so I would not be shocked if we come back to test this level 12.5 here today. This would be the level of retest. I mean, you have, you have this down channel on Qs or on NQ. I'm sorry. So if you look at it, I hate myself for not remembering to do it all the time. You guys see that daily candle that's being printed right now? It's not looking good. And now we got a bear flag right off of that into the demand. Yeah, we're gonna touch this 12.5 tomorrow. There's probably some news coming. There's a huge order probably waiting here in some time frame. Yeah, there's one right there. You guys see it? There's a guy waiting there somewhere. Probably the same guy that was short here at one point, or somebody else executing a different order. So that's something worth watching tomorrow.
Down Momo on NQ and ES on 30-minute.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if we come back to that level. Wow, this is just nasty here. And look where this VPOC is right here. Yeah, see that? Doesn't it kind of coincidental with that order that kind of triggered it? Yeah, right to it. So I would not be shocked if we go up one more time to this POC and then go down, fail to make a higher high, and then you come back down. All right, so these would be the levels for NQ. Let's see what we got here now. Frozen, that's fairly easy. So let me show you. Let me hide this real quick. So usually you have something called balance and imbalance. In market, when we trade stocks, right? If the stock is trading, let me delete this. Let's say this is a trading zone right here. I'll just give you an example, okay? So if this stock, let's say that this is a stock, the range right here, right? And the stock is just trading in between the range here. The buyers and sellers are happy. The value is there. Here on the bottom, you have responsive buyers. On the top, you have the responsive sellers, right? Hopefully you're following so far. And then at some point, something happens to the stock, whether it's fundamental or some news or some catalyst that comes in, and usually you'll get a pattern whether it's a market maker pattern or something like that, where they dip it below and then they rip it, right? Usually, this guy that was waiting here at some point, somebody was waiting, like an initiative buyer was waiting here. He wanted to also be part of the breakout. But what happened is that this guy that was really aggressive here, he took out all the orders, right? So if you think about your bid and ask, right? So if this guy that's trying to move the price up, what does he have to do? He has to buy up all the sell orders in order to move the price to go up. So if he moved the price up so high, if you look at it, right, he moved it up all the way from here, from this indecision candle that we had, I believe, on 65 minutes. Yep, on 65 minutes. It was here somewhere. Yeah, right there. So in 65 minutes, if he had to buy up all the seller orders in order for new sellers to move the price up, that means that eventually some of these buyers were waiting here and they still have the orders that have not been fulfilled. They're still probably waiting at 12.5, right? Maybe you won't see it on this date, but you would see it sitting on the 12.5 somewhere, and they're just waiting to be filled. So eventually what's going to happen is that they're going to drive the price back down to 12.5, and that big order is going to get fulfilled, and then it's going to, get a bounce again. That's why we buy on, we buy on VPOX and sell on VPOX on top, on the bottom, right? You always need a confirmation, but the idea is to buy it every time you go to the VPOX. It's going to have a reaction. The market's going to react to it. So that's how we knew that there's a buy order, just because the imbalance that it created. So, and you see here, look at the buy volume here, the triggered. So it triggered here, and then you see again, off of this, the buy volume triggered again. So that's telling me that there was an imbalance created in the market. Somebody, was able to buy all the seller orders, and maybe somebody was not left to go with some, so they'll come back and refill it. And it always works. And this works on any time frame, so you can practice it on any of those. And this looks like a little 3-value drive. You have 1, 2, 3, and then, of course, you can have a little trend line here. If you want to call it a bull flag, you have that here. So now you want to watch these. It's tapping that, see if we can get higher. Ideally, if we get the 12.582, this will be a nice 20-30% play, probably a couple of minutes on this order here. Okay. Yes. All right. So the triple top's still in play. Oof, man, this plays out, it's gonna be nasty. So here's your bull flag for today. Let's see what they do with it. You guys see that? And then if we go in 35 minutes, we'll be able to switch to our volume profile, and we'll know what they're planning on doing. So this is a D-shaped profile, so just a lot of balance and people being happy in this area here. We also have a VPOC there. So what would you do in this chance? What would you do here, Frozen? So you're losing. That's correct. You can short below the VPOC, but if you see the candles getting smaller as we approach this VPOC, right, and you're seeing unusual volume, you want to be looking to go long and play the bounce. Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to make sure you're understanding what we were doing. So this here, if we get to this VPOC at 4100, this would be a pretty good buy zone, guys. I'm just looking at on 30 minutes, 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and if that plays around here, this might be a pretty good spot. And if we break below this VPOC, then you know what to do. We break below it, short right there, and collect your money. Wow, this is a double POC here. Keep picking up the damn arrow. And you guys see the volume on the right on these orders right now. Not much happening. Any questions on this? How we play it? I think it's pretty straightforward. Only we shorted below 41.28. Then it has room all the way here to 41. We can delete this guy if I can find the start of it. We have a nice, you guys see this double XPOC now at 40.59. That's going to be a major, major bounce area for the future. So glad I went back. So this is your 2XPOC. And this is going to be your, we should not dip below this if we want to remain bulls. This should be the major bounce. If we miss that, then we go to 40.60, and that should be a nice level for a bounce there. But they would line up with this trend line. I mean, this would be pretty much them giving us money right here, like handing out cash. Okay, everyone's favorite. Let's see what they did. Did they get it over 720? 730. Yeah, this is retail buying. Yeah, this is retail buying. This is gonna come back down. Okay, on 30 minutes, do you guys see any patterns that you could have played on this? Okay, let me delete all my patterns first. So you had a double bottom, single double bottom. It's called kind of apple double bottom here. So your long entry was 680. If you guys joined the watch list right before I went on the mini vacation, it was 730 was the level that we were after on Tesla. It was 731 that we wanted to go over to go long. And I believe that morning I gave you guys the level. I think me and Earth, he had 720. I was more aggressive on 730 to go long. Let's see. So you have 763, and then you have a VPOC here, 770. I'm gonna leave this on for a second. Okay, so this is our 2x POC. Severe epoch. And call this a epoch. All right, so these are your levels. If we break 751, we shorted 708. It's literally going to be a dump fest if it breaks 751. I would not be surprised if they push it all the way to 800, which would be your 2x POC here. Did I say 700 or 800? 800 is what I meant to say if I said 700. So you have 783 kind of resistance, and then if you take out all the stuff, kind of look at the candles. Let's go 4 hours. So you guys see that you have a little bit of 787 there, which is what we have. 764. Look at the daily real quick. Yeah, there's that level here. Maybe I'll increase the supply. Not bad volume all across. I mean, when you look at it, it's not that bad. It's low volume, but it's green volume nonetheless. And it's first green volume after 8 weeks, so. And that's does anyone know what pattern is this? Maybe it doesn't qualify, but if it was a little bit lower, it would qualify if it closed here. Anyone know? It'll be bullish piercing candle if it was a little bit smaller than that, but let's see how we react to these levels tomorrow. It's a very aggressive run here. Be easy short below 751 tomorrow, or rejection if we run tomorrow 780 and then 804. I honestly don't know how we would get over these levels, but let's see. See what this trend line tells us. Yeah, we have a long ways to go top of that channel. So obviously, if we break that 800, then you know the room opens up a little bit to this order here, about $1,000. We'll watch that. AMD go over. Okay, well, AMD did pretty good. This is one of my favorite patterns, if you guys know. So this looks pretty juicy, almost there. You guys see how we consolidate in this level for a long time. You guys see that consolidated. Now we retested it. I mean, you lost half of it. You went to 160 all the way to here. So interesting enough that this might be the first one to pop from all of these stocks. We had a nice break there. Man, what was the level? So tomorrow you can play this two ways. You can play the break of 104. If we are able to break the 104, that's great. We have a double XPOC right below it here. This will be a tough level to break. So you could play at 103.54 or 53, or you could play the 104 too, and then that could all the way take you to 108. 14 level, and then if that breaks, then you get the 110, and that's probably where I would get out with my longs and see how the market kind of reacts. But this looks pretty good for tomorrow. If we can break the 103 tomorrow, 103.53, this might run. Yeah, you could even play this DTL here on a break, which matches up with what we have. All right. What other tickers you guys have? Anyone? Check some random stuff. We have a gap here. This might not be a bad play tomorrow for anyone with smaller accounts. I would look for this break of this all the way to about 950. It could run. Okay, this thing got decimated, almost decimated. What else is there? Is these oh, there it goes. I wonder if dumpster fire got filled on the shares too. Yeah, I had a fill order on this pretty good deal. I think it was don't quote me, 129.5 or something like that. I can check. But it was a good deal on these shares. definitely watch this. I mean, it has room now if it can break this 162 all the way to 170, but I just don't like these candles now that they're building. Look at crowd. Consolidated here for a little bit, and it broke. So tomorrow, if we can catch crowd on the falling side, this would be where you want to catch it. 157. You want to catch it right here on the breakout of that rectangle. So this is something that you kind of want to make sure you catch here. So tomorrow, if this breaks, obviously you have a little bit of liquidity here at 160. If that breaks, this would be a nice buy zone here for anyone wanting to play crowd. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off. Maybe don't know. I got sick on the vacation. I got some stomach bug. I was pretty much sleeping 20 hours a day for the past 2 days, and then just miserably puking and soft stool. I know it's TMI, but it's been just. And my son just got sick. He's running fever. It's been fun, to say the least. Vacation. Didn't sound like vacation at all. All right, guys. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll get live, so we'll get some money tomorrow. I gotta recoup.
Thanks, Shorty.
Vacation anyway, so we'll get on.
Thanks,
we'll
Shorty.
live.
All right.
Feel better, man.
Feel better, Shorty. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, guys.